I'm Vladimir, I'm Christo's nephew. I've been working with Christo and Jeanne-Claude for 35 years and involved in all the projects since 1990, since the umbrellas. And I don't know if there's any, the takeaway should be that everything is possible. Anything or everything is possible. You just have to have the passion and the drive to do it. And and that ultimately really their work is about freedom, and to show what that is. It's that you're not dependent on sponsors, you're not dependent on government sponsorship or government policies. In a way, you can, if you really want to do it and you have the vision and you have the drive, it's possible. Christo and Jeanne-Claude arrived in Miami in 1980, and they wanted to do something with the city. And they were driving through one of the crossways, and they were driving. Jeanne-Claude had the idea to surround the islands, and you can see here through the early drawings that the vision is not completely clarified. Like the boom is not the same. It's, I mean, for an early idea, it's clear enough, but then through the engineering, working with the engineers, and to see what can happen, what's feasible through engineering. The vision clarifies, and you can see in the later drawings how the vision is clarified. It becomes more technical, and the more information is there. 11 islands that were surrounded. The fabric spanned 200 feet from the shoreline to the boom. So even somebody like one of the newspapers had joked that it looked like a giant Pepto-Bismol pill. It was, so it was the project that used the most fabric of any project Christo and Jeanne-Claude used. It was 6.5 million square feet of fabric, and it was also very quick. It happened in less than 3 years, which was unusual. Usually projects take 10 years or 25 years sometimes, with the gates 26 years. But also very interesting is that when at that time, when they were working on the surrounded islands, it was one of the most prolific and busy times for Christo and Jeanne-Claude, where they were working on 5 projects simultaneously. And you can see that as part of the film, which is also here in the exhibition, where they were working on the Reichstag in Berlin, the Pont Neuf in Paris, the gates in Central Park, the surrounded islands in Miami, and the Mastaba in Abu Dhabi. So it was a very, very busy time for them, and they had a lot of ideas, which some of them took much longer to complete. The Pont Neuf happened in '85, the Reichstag in '95, the gates in 2005, and the Mastaba, we're still working on it 50 years later. So this was, also the surrounded islands was very instrumental to Miami's development as an art scene, because it was not much happening in the art scene in Miami at the time, and this was the one project that brought Miami on the map. And you can see that in some of the photographs, you can see the 11 islands, and some of them were double, 2 of them were double, so there were actually 9 surroundings in a way, because they combined 2 islands at the same time. And we can go over, and here's some the patterning and the technical data for the anchors, where the anchors were positioned. Look, the islands in the bay they're man-made islands. They were made from the dredging of the bay. And then vegetation grew, and when Christo and Jeanne-Claude arrived and they started to work on the islands, they had to remove a lot of trash from the islands. There was a lot of trash. People used it as trash. They would party and they would just leave things on the islands. So they removed a lot of trash. And lucky also for them is that the bay is very shallow. So for the divers to work and install the anchors was not so difficult to make all the anchor points for the islands.